Hey everyone, welcome to our latest edition of What's Next in Raid, where we'll be talking all about what's coming next in Raid. We've got a whole lot to wriggle through today, so let's just slither right into it. First up, the Guardian Ring. Some of you may have already seen our other video dedicated entirely to the Guardian Ring, but if not, don't worry. We're going to coil our explanation up into a small ball of cold, hard facts. The Guardian Ring is primarily here to give everyone a way to use their duplicate champions. It'll be replacing the current sparring pit in your Bastion, but you won't be losing the sparring pit you know and love. It's just shedding its old skin and being upgraded with a bunch of new additions. The first new add-on is Faction Guardians, where you assign a special council of champions for each faction that gives champions of their respective rarity within that faction a global stats boost. You'll be able to assign Guardians for rare, epic, and legendary champions, and with this feature, you'll get to have your cake and eat it too, because you still get to keep your Faction Guardians and use them in battle. It's going to be a huge boost to early and mid-game players who probably won't have any duplicate legendaries in their collections, but will more than appreciate being able to strengthen their rares and epics to help them climb over some of those tougher raid hurdles. The stats boost itself is nothing to hiss at and will be approximately half as strong as the bonuses from a maxed out Great Hall. It'll give you a lot of freedom when it comes to tweaking and adjusting your champion builds and play styles, as well as your Great Hall upgrade strategy, now that you'll have an additional layer of boosts too on top. The other two additions are exclusively for duplicate legendary champions. First, you can empower champions using their own duplicates or some surrogates if you can't get more than one of that champion, like Lydia. Empowering will help you beef up your champions to make them extra tanky, extra killy, or extra whatever you've built them for. We don't want empowered legendaries to become unbeatable demigods, so we're capping empowerment. You'll only be able to empower a champion up to 4 times. Last on this list, but certainly not least, Champion Unbinding. If you're sure you have no use for a duplicate legendary champion, you'll be able to permanently release them from your service in exchange for a life token. You'll then be able to take those life tokens and trade them for a new legendary champion at the token trader. We'll be adding a bunch of special champions to the token trader over time, including some that were available via fusion events in the past. So expect to see Molly Tankard, Manaya, Fushan, and the new and improved Tomb Lord in the near future. In fact, community favorite Sir Nicholas will be coming to town very soon, so you'll be able to hand out some gifts of festive fury to some very unlucky boys and girls. Alright, that's the big update squirming its way in-game very soon, but that's not all. Let's take a quick-fire look at a bunch of other updates we're bringing to Raid soon. First, the Shadowkin are getting their own faction crypt. It means more milestone rewards, but you'll still have to finish every crypt if you want Lydia. So if you're close to finishing already, you might want to finish the job before you have another crypt to complete. Second, we're renovating the Tavern. We're adding a filter that only shows champions that are eligible for each type of upgrade, as well as the ability to change the sorting orders from ascending to descending. XP brews will also be grouped together in a single slot to make things quicker and easier to manage, and we're also adding a slider to make it even easier to beef up your champions in one go. Third, we're adding rank and rarity filters to the artifact storage, as well as making it possible to select all the artifacts you've filtered for with one tap, so you can sell your gear in bulk. Fourth, and my personal favorite, changes to save teams and skill instructions. We're increasing the number of save teams to 15, and we'll be dividing them up by game mode so you have 15 for each mode. We're also making it possible to create farming setups that you can run in multi-battle mode, along with being able to set different skill instructions for each round of a battle separately. Alongside these changes, we're exploring some options for how to make it quicker and easier for everyone to speed things up throughout the game, starting with Faction Wars and the Doom Tower. We're going to be kicking things off by enabling super raids for Doom Tower boss fights. And to keep things fresh in battles, we're also adding a new buff and debuff pair that increases or decreases resistance in battle. Being able to have an enemy's resistance is no joke, and we think these effects will add a new layer of strategy to Raid's battles across the board, including introducing completely new team compositions and archetypes. And since we're on the subject of new team compositions, the best thing for that is new champions. A bit of a tradition here on our What's Next series. What you're looking at now is a first sneak peek into the next line of dungeon delving. Boss-beating badasses coming to Teleria in the near future. Okay, that's all we've got for you. Oh, wait, one last thing. The Hydra. You might have already seen a few leaks from Raid's sleuth-like detective community about the Hydra already, but if you haven't, here's a full breakdown of what will be Raid's toughest, scariest, and biggest boss fight. The The Hydra is our second clan boss, in addition to the Demon Lord you're all well acquainted with. However, it's a bit different than just fighting one boss. You all know the old commonly used adages, 4 heads are better than 1, 4 snakes in the hand are worth 12 in the bush, the more serpents the better. Well, they're all true in Raid World too. This unkillable beast will be bringing 4 heads to every fight, each with totally unique skills and mechanics to deal with. Actually, it'll be bringing 6 heads, but you'll only have to deal with 4 at any one time. We'll get into that a bit later, but first, let's break down the basics. It's a big fight, and you'll need reinforcements, so you'll be taking 6 champions into each Hydra battle. And just like the other clan bosses, the Demon Lord, you'll be battling the Hydra to chase high scores and win huge rewards. You'll be fighting to stay alive as long as possible and deal as much damage as you can along the way. However, unlike the Demon Lord, the Hydra will be running on a different cycle. While the Demon Lord resets every single day, the Hydra will reset once a week. On top of that, you'll only get 3 Hydra keys per week, so you and your clan will have more flexibility to figure out when you want to take the Hydra on. So, the Hydra will reset every week, and things will stay pretty much the same week to week. You'll fight the same Hydra with a mixture of those same heads. Each head will be tied to a certain affinity, so you'll be able to figure out a good strategy over time to deal with the current challenge. Predictable, easy, right? But here's the twist. Every 4 weeks, a new rotation will start. This means, just like the Doom Tower, shuffling the pack. Each head will be paired with a new affinity, and the 4 starting heads you have to deal with will change. And in the future, when we add more heads, it'll mean entirely new combinations of 6 heads and a whole new challenge. To make things even tougher, once you've used a champion in a Hydra battle, you won't be able to use them again until after the next weekly reset. So looking to lock in a single, gimmicky team is off the table here. You're going to need 3 unique teams that can stand up to the challenge to get the most out of the Hydra. Then, every month, re-examine your strategy again because the script may very well have been flipped. Because each head is so unique, you won't be able to use the same tricks every time. We're not going to cover each head's skills right now, but here's a quick snapshot of the 6 heads you'll be fighting against in the first rotation of the Hydra. The head of Torment, the head of Decay, the head of Wrath, the head of Blight, the head of Suffering, and my personal favorite, the head of Mischief. If those names alone don't sound scary enough, wait until you see them in battle. Things get real crazy. You'll be fighting 4 of these heads at the same time, and you'll be fighting hard to stay alive and deal out as much pain as possible. You'll want to cut off the Hydra's heads to maximize your damage, but cutting off a head doesn't mean you only have to fight against 3 heads. Remember how we said the Hydra brings 6 heads? Well, if you do manage to decapitate a head, another will grow back. You cut off the head of Blight, and it might come back with a vengeance, or it might be replaced by the head of Decay or head of Torment, whichever the 5th and 6th heads are in the current rotation. So, endless pain for your team. But don't worry, you have 6 champions, and it only has 4 heads. You have the numbers advantage. It's going to be like shooting snakes in a barrel. Not exactly. This beast has another trick up its sleeve. It's also going to be trying to eat you. Every so often, one of your champions will get eaten by one of the heads. Now, just like in real life, these Hydras have long necks and stomachs in their necks. So you have a few turns to chop off that Hydra's head before it fully digests and consumes your champion. If you slice the head off, you free your champion and they're back in battle. If you don't, they're dead and gone. And we really mean gone. You won't be able to revive them and you'll have 1 champion missing for the rest of the fight. Sounds like a tough battle, and it is, but the rewards are more than worth it. To recap, you fight the Hydra just like you fight the clan boss. Higher scores, better rewards. Rewards will be earned in the form of Hydra chests, given out at the weekly reset. And better yet, if your clan manages to fully deplete the Hydra's HP, you get double the rewards. Let's talk about what those rewards are. Aside from the obvious things like Clan Gold, Clan XP, there are some serious rewards on offer. First, you'll be able to win fragments for an exclusive champion, Mithrala Lifebane. We're already taking huge inspiration from Greek mythos here, and Mithrala fits into that perfectly. We'll be releasing a dedicated champion spotlight for Mithrala soon, but as you'd expect from someone that looks like Medusa's long-lost sister, she's going to be able to poison people. Oh, and turn people to stone. That's a thing now too. It's a really scary debuff that can take people out of the fight entirely, with a downside or two. We'll cover it in greater detail soon, but let's just say in the right hands, with the strategy, it's going to be a game changer. That reward's simple. New champions are never a bad thing. But what about unique rewards or new mechanics? Oh, I'm glad you asked. You'll also be able to win a whole new type of artifact from Hydra chests. We're not talking just a new buff or boosted stats, but an entirely new breed of artifacts that give you set bonuses depending on how many you have equipped. These special variable artifacts will give you an extra bonus with only one of their kind equipped, then another bonus if you equip 2, 3, 4, or even a full 6 of them. These are unlike any other artifact sets in Raid and will open up huge possibilities in terms of artifact combos and builds. Right off the bat, we'll have 2 of these special variable artifact sets. Set 1, Stone Skin. Equipping a single artifact from this set will give your champion a modest but useful 8% HP boost. Equip 2, and you also get an extra 40 resistance on top. But equip 4, and you'll get access to an entirely new defensive buff called Stone Skin, which you'll get for 1 turn at the start of the round. Stone Skin will mean your champion takes almost no damage from enemy attacks, and makes your champion immune to all debuffs except for bombs. In fact, bombs will actually do more damage as they can shatter your champion, but it's still a great trade-off for all the benefits of Stone Skin. That's if you equip 4, but equip 6 and you get 2 turns of Stone Skin, plus a boatload more stat boosts. The next set's called a protection set, and it works the same way. Equip 1, 2, or 3 artifacts and get extra stats, but at 4, the set has a chance to protect any buff the wearer casts or receives. Protected buffs can't be removed or stolen, so this set is sure to be invaluable to any champion whose buffs are the bedrock of your team. Just like the Stone Skin set, this becomes even more powerful at 6 pieces. The protection chance increases, plus you have the benefits of all the other stat boosts along the way. If the special mechanics alone weren't enough for you to want those sets, how about raw power and strength alone? Stone Skin and protection artifacts will be available in an entirely new rarity, Mythical. Mythical artifacts are a step up from legendary artifacts in strength, and you won't be able to find these anywhere else. Mythical artifacts start with all 4 substats unlocked, but one of the substats will be increased to the equivalent of a level 4 legendary artifact, meaning you'll be able to eke out a little bit more power from mythical artifacts than legendary ones. It's a small edge, but at the highest level, those small margins make a big difference. As you can probably tell, these artifacts will be incredibly versatile and useful pretty much anywhere, no matter whether you're focusing on PvP or PvE. The Hydra is a huge update, and we'll be gradually adding more content to it over time, with awesome new rewards and terrifying new heads. And we're super excited to see what you guys think of it. And that's it. Whew, that's a lot. We hope you enjoyed our latest preview video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got a lot of exciting content in the works, and you definitely don't want to miss out. Until then, happy raiding.